Hi everyone, Scar the Scottman. We're here to do a driving video today. We're going to be heading south on M3 today, which pretty much runs along the entirety of Gratiot Avenue, with the exception of the very beginning and the very end of M3. So we're here at the very beginning of M3. This is basically 23 Mile Road right now. I actually need to get back over. Thought there were going to be a lot more people turning left into the shopping center. Okay, and yeah, I was right, because I can get over now. So this is a brief concurrency with 23 Mile Road. So between Gratiot and 994, yeah, we have a very busy area with all kinds of chain restaurants, fast food restaurants, department stores. So yeah, this area over here in Chesterfield Township is very, very busy. So here is Gratiot, and here is where M3 starts to head south, or technically southwest. So we continue west, we stay on 23 Mile Road. So then, anyway, so this is Gratiot Avenue. That green arrow did not last long at all. Like, barely had few cars go through. But thankfully, we were just fine, though. So now M3 runs along Gratiot Avenue, pretty much the rest of the route except for the very end, which you'll see what I mean when we get into Detroit. So Gratiot is basically the main highway which runs parallel with I-94 from Detroit to Port Huron. So like if we would have gone the opposite direction on Gratiot, that's not M3 because we came from where M3 begins, and it basically goes all the way up to the Port Huron area. All right, so now we can finally continue. We had a bunch of traffic lights back there, although it's kind of expected just because of the huge shopping area. So yeah, right now we're in the northeast edge of like Metro Detroit, because yeah, once you get, especially if you're going north on Gratiot or even on I-94, once you get to the northeast of like 23 Mile Road, you're starting to get more out in the country a little bit. And yeah, it's gotten a little quieter since we got out of that shopping area. But yeah, it's a pretty cloudy day today. We've had a lot of sunshine the past few days, but heck, we even had like a quick little light rain shower that didn't really last too long this morning. And that's 22 Mile Road there, like at least like a small stretch of it. So I just filmed the video on 22 Mile Road not too long ago, but I didn't cover that little stretch there because that little stretch goes only to Fairchild Road, which is not that far to the west of here. And then there's like a pretty big gap in between the two sections. So it's like, is it really worth it? Someone in the comments will be like, yes, it's imperative. Oh well. But yeah, it's pretty cloudy out. It's not too bad out temperature-wise. The car thermometer is reading 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Convert that to Celsius, it's around 24 degrees. So I'd say pretty average for mid-September. But yeah, what's interesting is that the leaves are already starting to change colors. And keep in mind, this is southeast Michigan. This is not northern Michigan. And it's like the leaves normally don't change colors this early. But up until maybe the past couple days, it's been very cold here. Not so cold where we're having to dress like it's November here or anything, but we've had some cooler days and some cooler nights, especially like when I was in California. Oh, yeah, I think, was that 20? I think that was, yeah, that was 21 Mile back there. So because of that, it's like the leaves are starting to change colors early this year. If we make a left here at, this is Marketplace Boulevard, that will take over to a bunch of department stores, see like Walmart, Menards, other different restaurants. It's a little shortcut too to go over to M59 or Hall Road. Although, as you can tell, we got a lot of fast food restaurants on the left-hand side here. And we are approaching Hall Road right now, or M59. So M59 just begins about a mile to the east of here over by I-94. And M59 goes west, all the way out toward where Lakeside Mall used to be, and then eventually out toward Utica, and then it heads out toward Pontiac, and eventually out toward Howell, Michigan, where it ends up at I-96. And a little interesting fact is that a long time ago, M59 actually did not go east along Hall Road. It made a turn here at Gratiot and it ran concurrent with M3 going to the north up to 23 Mile, and then M59 ended over there. But when they expanded the road, like for Hall Road, made it a lot bigger getting over to I-94, it's like they decided to keep M59 along with Hall Road, which is, in my opinion, a lot smarter idea. So we're slowly starting to approach the Mount Clemens area. It's like after crossing over Hall Road, we're now in Clinton Township, but very briefly. It's gonna be hard to see from the video, but I can even see one of the taller buildings way in the distance for Mount Clemens. And here's where Gratiot or M3 now gets divided into two parts. So you have the northbound lanes completely separate from the southbound lanes, and we are now entering the city limits for Mount Clemens. So Mount Clemens is the county seat for Macomb County. So you got like the main county offices here in Mount Clemens. Oh yeah, see, I was like, I was about to talk about something, but yeah, now I remember. So yeah, a long time ago, although I did it in different pieces, I filmed the entirety of Gratiot Avenue, but not just the M3 portions. Like I filmed that going north. That was a long time ago. It's like if possible, I almost could do like a new video at some point going the opposite direction. So yeah, what's pretty cool is that, yeah, a good part of downtown Mount Clemens is in between the northbound and southbound lanes for Gratiot. So if you make a left turn here, this is at Market Street, that'll navigate you into, well, at least to the north side of downtown Mount Clemens. Oh, looks like they got a little market going on there along, yeah, Macomb Place. So you have like a, I don't know if it's like, I don't think it's an art fair, but it could just be like a just an outdoor market. So that's pretty cool that they have that. So downtown Mount Clemens is right off to our left. And then here is Cass Avenue. Cass Avenue, when you go left, when you cross over the other side of Gratiot, it turns into Crocker, and that'll take you down, eventually down toward Metro Parkway, about a couple miles west of Lake St. Clair Metro Park. And then Cass Avenue, the opposite direction going northwest, eventually ends up toward Romeo Plank Road, over about a mile south of where Partridge Creek is located, which is like an outdoor shopping mall. And Yeah, these roads are a little bumpy, but they could be worse. Yeah, Mount Clemens does have a nice little walkable downtown area. It's been a while since I've been in downtown Mount Clemens, but it's pretty nice though. So yeah, once we got south of downtown Mount Clemens, yeah, the northbound lanes for Gratiot are not too far away now, like just a block to the left. And over here, we are crossing over the Clinton River. The Clinton River eventually empties out into Lake St. Clair to the east of here, which of course is sandwiched in between Lake Erie to the south and Lake Huron to the north. Which, of course, north of Lake St. Clair, you have the St. Clair River, which heads up toward Port Huron over where Lake Huron is, or goes into Lake Huron. And then, of course, going south, Lake St. Clair goes into the Detroit River, which then heads to Lake Erie. Oh, there's the McDonald's in between the two sides of Gratiot, and right here, so now the northbound lanes for Gratiot now run right along with the southbound lanes. So it's now a big divided highway going through the southeast suburbs of Macomb County. So yeah, now we're just crossed back. So we're out of Mount Clemens. We are now back in Clinton Township as we approach the traffic lights for Metro Parkway. Oh wow, they actually have a label for 16 Mile Road, which I don't think anybody calls it 16 Mile Road. Well, that was good. We didn't have to wait very long at all. I think I only had to turn off the camera for like 2 seconds. So as you will see along Gratiot, pretty much from here going all the way down toward like Roseville and Eastpointe, that area, we're gonna have like a lot of different businesses on each side of the road, and of course a lot of department stores, especially as we get down toward the Macomb Mall area. So what's really cool, exactly where we are right now, is like Gratiot Avenue / M3, it continues due southwest. So this is going to take us straight into downtown Detroit. It's very, very linear from here on out. Because of the traffic, I don't know if we'll see this or not, but like as we get closer, we'll be able to start seeing the skyscrapers for downtown Detroit, but not here just yet. We're still too far, and yeah, it's like there's still a little bit of a bend in the road, so it's not perfectly, it's linear, but not perfectly linear. Yeah, there are some breaks in the clouds a little bit, but not really a whole lot. So you got like an AMC movie theater here. Looks like a Big Lots, although it looks like it's closed. Yeah, a lot of vacant buildings in there, but there's still some businesses in there, so it's not like it's all closed up or anything. So that's good. So I feel like they could time these lights a little bit better because I only had to wait like 5 seconds. So it's like they could have, I don't know, made the other light shorter. But then you'll hear me complain about traffic lights when I'm on the mile roads. So it's like you can't win. Speaking of mile roads, this is 15 Mile Road. A bunch of yellow paint in the road there. So something definitely splattered there, and they decided not to patch that or clean that up or cover it. I don't know, but it's not really, it's just an eyesore, but that's about it. Oh, they got different traffic signals for crosswalks over here. Don't see anybody crossing the road right now, so don't have to worry about anything like that. And you have more department stores on the both sides technically, but more on the left. I see like Office Max, not Toys R Us. That's not really around anymore, except inside maybe some Macy's. But also saw like a Target. Oh, okay, there's also an Aldi, and on the right side they got Discount Tire. So yeah, a lot of businesses are located right off Gratiot. This is like a major thoroughfare, of course, because as I was saying earlier in the video, this runs parallel with I-94, and before they built I-94, this is what everybody used to go between Detroit and Port Huron, and of course the suburbs up here in eastern Macomb County. So now we're crossing over a 14-mile road, and yeah, we're now entering Roseville. So yeah, we're definitely approaching the Macomb Mall area, so it's definitely getting a lot busier. Seeing like Chili's, Chipotle, Potbelly, Del Taco, of course a bunch of fast food restaurants, Dunham Sports. I see a Dick's Sporting Goods, At Home, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, this is the Macomb Mall area here right now. Also, you got Ross, Kohl's, yeah, all kinds of stuff over here at Masonic, which is like 13.5-mile road. And then, yeah, more stuff like Men's Warehouse and Sam's Club, JCPenney, Panda Express, yeah, all kinds of stuff over here, like over the Macomb Mall area. And on our left, those left two lanes, that is a connector ramp that can easily get you onto I-94. So yeah, what is interesting, looks like you can get on it from the northbound lanes. Just not as easy to do so, and it's probably not as practical. But yeah, this is 13-mile road here. Got more stuff over here. You got Kroger, Bob's Discount Furniture, Logan's Roadhouse, Bob Evans. Yeah, it's like all kinds of, even like a Best Buy. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff over here. But as we're getting away from the Macomb Mall area, now we're seeing like smaller businesses. Also a Buscemi's, which of course is like it's like a convenience store, I would say. Although they also are known for their pizza, which I've had pizza from Buscemi's before. There's different locations around Metro Detroit. Their pizza's pretty good. Here's Common Road, which is 12.5-mile road. And yeah, it's like, as you can tell, it's like the lanes have gone down just to being 3 lanes. But of course, then again, a lot of people are on Gratiot north of that connector ramp to I-94. Have a Ram's Horn restaurant there. It's like Ram's Horn's one restaurant chain has been really disappearing. There's still some locations left, like that one. There's also one in Rochester Hills that's still remaining. But I remember there used to be quite a lot. Like, they kind of competed with like Big Boy a little bit, but it's like both of those chains have been closing a bunch of restaurants. So up here is 12-mile. More department stores up to the left. See like Five Below and Marshall's, Dollar Tree. we're definitely making pretty good progress, I'd say, so far. Although things will probably slow down once we get into the Detroit city limits, because we'll have a lot more traffic lights down that way than what we've been seeing. But one thing I have noticed too is that the lights for the most part have been well synced, because we're starting to slow down, but the light just turned green. In fact, now we're still having to stop, but I'll keep the video going. Yeah, they're just going very slow right now. So this light, this is Utica Road here. So this is around where Utica Road begins. And of course, it continues its way northwest up toward the city of Utica. Here's Martin Road, or 11.5-mile road. You got McDonald's, Tubby's, Subs, you got Checkers. This is kind of like the main business area for Roseville. Oh, they have a Randazzo's fruit vegetable market over there. So anyways, like kind of like the main business area for Roseville, not including Macomb Mall area. And this traffic light up ahead is 11 Mile, and 11 Mile is also where 696 is. And you got a National Coney Island there too, with a very, very nice sign for it as well. So just going over 696 now, and we are now entering Eastpointe, are we not in that yet? This could still be Roseville. I haven't seen a sign for Eastpointe yet. And of course, someone comes over this lane and slows me down, like going well under the speed limit, and I can't get over because of another car. But all right, now we can get around. Got a Kroger and a TJ Maxx over to the left. And neither of them are going the speed limit right now. Oh well, but man, I can't. Oh, I was about to say, it's like I can't win, but I guess I can because he decided to turn there. Oh well, but yeah, I believe this is Eastpointe, because I believe this is like 696 and 11 Mile is kind of like the border between Roseville to the north and Eastpointe to the south. So we're already approaching 10 Mile, and yeah, we got, oh, this lane's closing, so I better get over. Looks like they're doing construction on 10 Mile. Oh, okay, so we're entering Eastpointe now, so yeah, I couldn't remember where the boundary was. So Roseville, so that was still Roseville back there, but once we cross 10 Mile, we're now in Eastpointe. Oh, there's even an Olive Garden there. So the city of Eastpointe, I forget, again, I was talking about this when I did my M102 or 8 Mile video not too long ago. But it used to be called East Detroit, but they changed the name to Eastpointe. I'm trying to remember, it was like the 90s or something? I can't really remember. So I was still only a kid when I think they changed the name, so I don't really remember. Although I'm sure you can easily find out on Google or something. Oh, they got Stevensville closed at the west end of the intersection. Yeah, the traffic I could say, has gone a lot more quiet once we got south of 696. Because we still have businesses along in here, but not like what we saw on the other side of 696, like up in Roseville, or going north up toward like where the Macomb Mall area is. The right lane is ending once more. It looks like they're doing stuff around 9 Mile here. yeah, some work at the intersection. I got a Five Guys, a Petco. A nice shopping area in there, I have to say. Yep, and it's hard to tell if you can see it, but way off in the distance, you can start to see the skyscrapers for Detroit, like way in the horizon. So yeah, definitely a more random traffic light to stop at this time compared to having to stop at one of the major mile roads. We are getting close to 8 Mile, but it's not this light here. Of course, now we're starting to get the badly timed lights, and this will probably be the theme for everything in the Detroit city limits. So we'll see if that's a sign of things to come, or if we'll get a little lucky. And yeah, it looks like too, yeah, once we get past 8 Mile up ahead, this is where the divided highway portion ends. And yeah, that traffic light did not last long at all. It's like, I think if I would have tried to make that light, I probably would have to go like 65 miles an hour. That'd be like a huge, huge fine if I were to get pulled over. So it's like, yeah, be a really bad idea to go. Yeah, do not go 65 in a 40 mile per hour zone. That is, I would almost consider that reckless. Well, it didn't stay red for very long. Maybe like not even half a minute. So we're crossing over 8 miles, and we are now in Wayne County and also the Detroit city limits. So we will be in Detroit for the remainder of this video. What's going to be really cool is as we keep getting closer to Detroit, all the skyscrapers will eventually get a lot bigger. Initially, it's not going to look like that, but after a while, it certainly will. And I thought I saw online or something, I don't know when this will happen, but and we're going to stop. Yep, he went through the red. It's like, we probably would have done that if we would have kept going. So anyway, it's like I heard they were planning to do some type of a revitalization along Gratiot in the Detroit city limits. I don't know, like make some improvements and of course probably make sure that all the lights are working at night. I don't really know much about it, but yeah, I think I just remember hearing something that they might do that in the coming either months or years or something like that. Yep, and here is 7 Mile. You got a Church's Chicken, also McDonald's over here. Also Popeyes, Captain J's Fish and Chicken. Doesn't look too busy, but then again, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not really lunchtime anymore, and it's too early for dinner. Although it looks like they're grilling something really good over there. The skies are kind of looking a little bit brighter to this, like way off to the southwest. So I think they said that the sun was supposed to come back out in the evening. Yeah, unfortunately, though, there are a lot of buildings which are vacant in here, so that's definitely a sad sight to see. But yeah, it's like once we over along Gratiot, we don't really see any of the mile roads south of 7 Mile. I don't even know if McNichols or any of those roads come over this far east. Or if it did, we'd probably pass it, not even realize it. But so it's kind of hard to tell how many miles it is until we get into downtown Detroit. But again, as I was saying, we're going to be getting closer, and eventually we'll be getting right into it. So it's kind of the nice thing about doing this video going southwest, going into Detroit, because we get to see the skyscrapers, especially when we get a lot closer. Oh yeah, now you can start to see the Renaissance Center a little bit, or at least the top of the central tower, which is where the Marriott Hotel is there. And over here, this is where M97 begins or ends. So M97, going a little bit to the north of here, it runs in the, eventually will turn into, or heads up toward Hoover Road, and then it becomes Groesbeck Highway as it heads kind of parallel with Gratiot and M3. Oh, here's Outer Drive East here. So yeah, M97 basically runs parallel back up toward the Mount Clemens direction and ends up all the way up at Hall Road or M59. Oh, stopping here at Connor Street. And the buildings are starting to get a little bit bigger, but again, they're not entirely big just yet. Oh, we got a nice cemetery off to the right there. Yeah, I don't want to go too fast here because the light's still currently red. Yep, good planning because the light just turned green. So up here is French Street here. A lot of McDonald's over here. This is like the second one I've seen in the Detroit city limits so far. It wouldn't surprise me if there's another one coming up here between here and downtown Detroit, but we'll wait and see. And a pretty big point of interest here to the left. So to the left, that is where they make the Better Made potato chips. So Better Made potato chips is a potato chip brand that is out of Detroit. If you go to different like grocery stores here in like especially in Michigan, you see Better Made potato chips. That's where they make, or that's where they're made, back there. It's just past Harper Avenue back there, and then here is the interchange with I-94. Oh, they made a lot of improvements for this bridge going over I-94, which is really nice. So anyway, so I don't know if they sell them outside of Michigan. I would say that finding Better Made potato chips in other U.S. states is probably as hard as possibly finding the all-dressed chips that come out of Canada. Because I've seen them at stores here just because we are close to the Canadian border, but elsewhere maybe less so. But yeah, I don't think I've ever really had Better Made potato chips. Maybe when I was a kid or something. I just don't really remember. I don't go out of my way to enjoy them. That's kind of the funny thing with me is that it's like a lot of the Detroit-based foods. Like, of course, I love Detroit style pizza, and of course, I love the Coney Islands, like having the Coney dogs, Detroit style, of course. But it's like a lot of the products, like Better Made potato chips or Verner's ginger ale. Like, I don't eat or drink any of that stuff. Well, I think I said this in my video. I've not had like soda or anything like that in over a decade. I think the lone exceptions when I did a Foods of Detroit video a couple years ago here on YouTube, and I forgot to point out that traffic light back there, that was M53 or Van Dyke. That was where I ended the M53 video that I did not too long ago. And not this light here, but this light here, this is Warren. And then here we have Grand Boulevard. Grand Boulevard going south will eventually take you all the way down to the entrance for Belle Isle. Which, yeah, Belle Isle is a really nice state park here in the Detroit area. But yeah, so anyway, so the only time I've really ever had Verner's was with that. When I did the Foods of Detroit video, I had what's called a Boston Cooler, which has nothing to do with the city of Boston, Massachusetts, by the way. But it's a drink. Well, it's like a drink / dessert that's come out of Detroit. It has like vanilla ice cream mixed in with Verner's ginger ale, which I tried that because it's a Detroit staple and it was pretty good. I wouldn't go out of my way to have it. So it's kind of like a root beer float, but with Verner's ginger ale. So those are like one of those lone exceptions where I drink like soda, but I don't like. I'm usually just a water drinker. Oh, the buildings are definitely getting a lot bigger here, as you can tell off in the distance. But yeah, it's like when I go to a restaurant, like I'm always just getting like water typically. Like I don't get like a soda or soft drink. So, but of course, but yeah, so it's like it's not something I've not had anything like that in a long time, like over like a decade. It's just excessive sugar that don't really need. I'd rather get sugar intake preferably from natural stuff like fruit, but obviously like added sugar for like desserts always are good, but you gotta be careful with that stuff though, because too much is not really a good thing. But yeah, I don't really desire like a soda or anything like that. And of course, depending where you are in the United States, a lot of times they'll call it pop instead of soda. In fact, I think Michiganders usually use the word pop instead of soda. Although the funny thing is when I go to some restaurants here in the Detroit area, on the menu, like they'll say either soft drink, I've seen soda, and I've seen pop as well too. So it's like you just got to know the terms. If you do drink like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, a lot of that stuff. So just know that soft drink, soda, or pop, it's the same thing. And off to the right, not immediately there, but we're over near where Eastern Market is, which is a very, very nice, large, mostly outdoor market, although there's some indoor aspects of it too. Which is a really cool area. I highly recommend check out Eastern Market. And then off to the right, that is a little connector that'll take you over to I-75. Oh, if you look off to the right a little bit, you can see the top of Ford Field off in the distance. And I need to get over, but the car on the left is not going to let me over at all. But now we're good. Oh, he's slowing down too. So yeah, now we're starting to get into the action here in Detroit, because we got definitely quite a bit going on here. We're like just south of Eastern Market right now. You can see a lot of heavier traffic going in the Eastern Market direction as we speak. And we got a beautiful view of the skyline of downtown Detroit. Even the brand new skyscraper built over at the Hudson site. I always keep forgetting the name of the skyscraper, but it's it's just complete. They're still finalizing things, so it's not completely open to the public yet, but it's just about done. So it's looking amazing. You can see the Greektown Casino off to the left, which I think is called Hollywood Casino now, over in Greektown. And we're going over the 375 freeway right now, and we are now in downtown Detroit. And yeah, when it comes to the traffic lights, yeah, it's going to be unpredictable as we get more into downtown. It's like, yeah, they got one of those pedal carts where it's like you can have a drink and like pedal at the same time and see the city. So up here at this traffic light, this is where M3 branches away from Gratiot Avenue. So we'll be making a left here at this light. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll even be making this traffic light because people were going very slow, and they still are. So I was hearing horns being honked earlier. So it's like, yeah, they're definitely, yeah, dawdling to where, yeah, I'm having to stop at this light once again. So Gratiot Avenue continues about another couple blocks that way over to Woodward. But M3 turns to the left here at Randolph. So now for the rest of M3, we're now running along Randolph Street. And of course, we got very poorly timed traffic lights because it just turned red here at Monroe Street. So yeah, right now, as you can tell, Monroe Street is completely closed off because they're doing a major reconstruction project in Greektown. Yeah, these lights are timed poorly. But they're turning Monroe Street in Greektown to a pedestrian-only zone. So it'll look really nice when it's done, but right now it's all a mess because of all the construction. And yep, there's the old courthouse building for Wayne County to our left. So that's really cool looking. They got a lot of construction going on along in here, but thankfully it doesn't look too bad. At least they don't have it closed off. So I've had a lot of bad luck this year with a lot of roads being closed, so I've been having to cancel a lot of driving videos. But this one, thankfully, I'm able to film. So this has definitely been a nice drive today. So here's Lawrence Street, and then M3 officially ends at Jefferson Avenue, and then if we go across the other side, it turns into the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel to go over to Canada. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video here on M3 as we head south in its entirety from I-94 in Chesterfield Township all the way to Jefferson Avenue here in Detroit. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that everybody don't miss out on any future adventures. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.